Where I worked when I was older, when I left school, I was 14 and a half when I was at work. Well, I left school at 14. I shouldn't have done. I should have left at 16 because I went to a central school. But owing to the doodlebugs, we didn't get our schooling because we kept running into shelters and nothing was really settling. So I left at 14 and went to work in Blackheath, Montpelier Vale 4, in Blackheath Bacon Shop, well known in the village, and I did serve groceries. I worked there for 7 years. So I was there when the V2 rocket dropped.
Yeah.
And on that day was a Thursday when it was early closing at 1:30, and all the shops would have been closed for the afternoon. But at 1 o'clock, I am weighing up sugar in the shop because being rationed, you only had ½ pound a week. You had 2 ounces of butter, 4 ounces of cheese, and about 4 ounces of bacon and ½ pound of sugar, 1 egg per week. It was rationed. But I was weighing up the sugar. All of a sudden, just about 1 o'clock, it went black in the shop. I was shaken from side to side and blown down onto the floor. One of my assistants' friend, Alice, was screaming my boss's name, which was Mr. Fish. The shop was owned by Mr. George Saxby and Mr. William Fish. They were partners. And she was screaming in this dark. Everything crashed down on towards me, with glass from the bottles and things, and dust all in my hair. It was absolutely black and shaken. When all the dust went, of course everything was scattered, the window shop was all blown in. One of our customers was talking outside to the owner of the next shop, Mr. Cheesewright. I think his wife, they were talking out there. She got killed. Oh. And in all the hoo-ha, I remember the ambulance coming to the shop and taking me to Greenwich Hospital and saying to me, "Oh, we'll give you injection for shock." And being 14 and a half, I just said, "No, I'm all right, I don't need it." So I didn't have it. I just came back. The boss said, "Don't bother to stay, we'll clear up." Because I went home and washed the dust out of my hair. But I became ill the very next day with a kind of throat, whether it was shock or anything. I was poorly for a few days with throat infection. Might have been the dust or whatever. But apart from that. But on that particular day, my father had just come from the railway station when this V2 rocket had dropped. He'd just got home. My mother was out in the garden doing something. She got hit by a lump of gutter into her leg. She was expecting at the time. And when the baby was born, it had a nevus. Whether that was due to the blow she received, I don't know. But the baby's alive now. She's grown up now and living in America. My other sister, Peggy, was just left my mother's home and got down to Jobbins the Baker's, which is just by where Age Concern is now. And she left the baby outside in the pram with the hood up and went in to get some bread or cakes and was served by a girl named Ruth Williams, who eventually married Suretsi Karma, the Nigerian somebody very high up. He was well known in history. And she was like a white girl marrying a black girl. But she served my sister. She was giving her the change when this V2 rocket dropped. It all went black, as she said. She rushed out to the baby to see if it was all right. The baby was all right except for black all round its eyes, with just his eyes peeping out, all dust covered. My father had run from home to her first to see if she was all right. He cried because he found she was all right. The next thing he came to the shop where I was to see if I was all right. And the owners of the shop, Mr. Saxby's mother and father, used to live upstairs in the shop. They got hurt. They were blown against either the bath or something. And when they came down, my father put his coat over the woman, the mother, on the stretcher before she was taken off to hospital. They did end up in hospital. And after that, only lived a few years after. Then they died. But that was the experience of the V2 at Blackheath.
And what did it look like after the event?
Pardon?
What did it look like?
I've got a picture that was in the Mercury.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to show it to you all.
But what was your memory of it? Was it...
Well, I mean, you don't remember, really, because you're so dazed from the...
Stunned.
All you know that the windows are blown out and that everything's smashed. But you don't really look too much around because you've just come out of a thing. And being whisked off to Greenwich Hospital, you know, that was...
Did you know people who died? Anyone who died?
Well, only that it was the next door, the woman customer, I forget who it was, talking to Mr. Cheesewright's wife. I'm not sure if his wife died, but they were out talking just by the shop when that went, so they may have been cut by glass.
So
but there were bodies here and there. And round by the post office, because when the bomb hit the church that was used to be there, as a young girl, I went in that church and did ballroom dancing.
I get? What am I giving? Why do I want a thing I dare not hope for? What can I hope for? I wish I knew. Why do I try to draw you near me? Why do I cry? You never hear me. I'm a poor fool, but what can I do? Why was I born to love you?